Howdy, folks. This is Jim Awrach from the UFO Report, coming to you live on behalf of Hannibal from the Hannibal TV. I'm covering for Hannibal, and all of us hope that he makes a rapid, speedy, healthy recovery. Hannibal, we all care about you and hope that you're back really soon. So tonight's episode, we are going to cover plasmoids living on the verge of outer space. It's kind of crazy stuff, but it's real. You might ask, why would something be living on the verge of outer space? And well, we have creatures that live deep down in the ocean. So I'm not scared. I don't think it's the end of the world at all. I think it's marvelous. Why is there so much controversy over this, and what's it all about? Well, first let's hear from Dr. Joseph, an exclusive interview coming up.
You have this continual where new status quo tries to prevent the anything new that might disrupt their position, and that's understandable. And I think it's fair to say that in a way I'm lucky. I'm lucky that NASA put so much effort into lying and covering up and attacking people to try to persuade people not to look at the evidence. What I mean by that is, if NASA had been truthful, if they had actually acted like true scientists, true investigators, and investigated the phenomena, I wouldn't have made the discoveries. So I'm lucky that NASA did all this to try to suppress. So I was able to come in when everybody else is going, don't look, there's nothing there. I even had the people from SETI, which is actually just basically a NASA false flag operation, say, oh, that's just space junk, don't look at it, tricks of the camera. Well, wait a minute, the astronauts, the commanders are saying it's outside my window. Now it's on next window. It's next window. Everybody's getting upset and excited. So where's the tricks of the camera? What's NASA do? Oh, let's change the subject, turn the camera off, talk about something else. So science is not really conservative, but reactionary. And in terms of personal sacrifice, if you're an investigator doing research, exploring the unknown, you can expect you're going to run into difficulties. I'm lucky. I'm lucky.
Lucky indeed. Dr. Joseph believes that this is a Nobel Prize winning material because he discovered entities that live on the verge of outer space, a whole new life form. And I would argue that is the case. So folks, why is it so controversial? Dr. Joseph feels that folks out there don't want the status quo to change. I asked if that was Machiavellian, and he said not quite that. He gets into a lot of interesting topics, and that'll be next week live on the Hannibal TV. We have a full 1-hour interview with him, and right now we're going to get to some of the frame-by-frame coverage of his video. His video is posted on the Hannibal TV, and you can also look at it on UFO-Report. So looking frame by frame, we're going to see some interesting things for those of you that have not actually watched it yet. Here. Okay. So this is from Dr. Joseph's footage. He compiled several NASA films and put them on digital, and he narrates it on his films, and he discusses what's actually going on. And so then I looked at it frame by frame just to make sure that it made sense, and also to explain it to those folks that are curious. So where exactly are we talking about? Plasmoids actually live in the stratosphere, in the thermosphere. So the thermosphere is actually the verge of outer space. So you've got the exosphere at the top, and then you're in outer space. So they're way, way, way the hell out there. You're talking about where the International Space Station is and where satellites are. Really, really, really amazing that they're out there so far. Okay, so moving along. you can see that in one of the clips in the footage that Dr. Joseph discovered from NASA, look at that. It's really quite amazing. Clearly, it's NASA footage. You can see the logo. It started in the upper left where it looks like NASA, but you're not quite sure. And then I applied some filtering just to emphasize that it is NASA. So I just did a little bit of filtering and did a little bit of magnification and coloring. It's there. This is NASA footage, right? Case in point there, official NASA footage. And then we're going to move to another clip, and Dr. Joseph is simply pointing out that, you know, there's life deep, deep, deep in the ocean, and why not have life on the verge of outer space? That was his point. And as you can see, there's Earth. Earth is in the upper left all the way down to the middle, a little bit past the middle. And that is the thermosphere, which is on the verge of outer space. And you can see there, you see something in small yellow, it says hunter, and another one that says grazer. So a grazer is a plasmoid that just kind of floats around, minds its own business, sort of like a cow grazing through the grass or something like that. And a hunter is actually a sperm-shaped plasmoid. Oh God, block my ears, it's not rated G. And that hunter goes along and it feeds off of all these grazers, and it's sort of an energy exchange. So it doesn't usually seem to be that these grazers are doing anything out of the ordinary other than grazing along. The hunters aren't destroying their prey, but they are exchanging energy. And sometimes actually when they swipe the energy or they go into the grazers or other plasmoids, you'll actually see a third plasmoid come out of it. And Dr. Joseph speculates, and he does say it's only speculation, that it could be some sort of procreation. So then, moving along to another frame, again, this outstanding, authentic NASA footage released by accident through a Freedom of Information Act requested by Dr. Joseph to NASA. He was looking for footage of Mars. Instead, they sent him this. And so if you look, you've got the hunter taking a path through 3 different prey. So you can see bam, bam, bam. And the idea behind that is it slightly adjusts its trajectory while it's hunting. So this isn't some sort of ice crystals or space junk. That's not how it's behaving. And also, Dr. Joseph pointed out that NASA changes the focus at a certain point to make it a little bit more difficult to see what's going on. Moving along to another clip that just shows an adjusted trajectory of the hunter going after multiple prey. And again, folks, this is posted right on the Hannibal TV, or send us a chat if you can't find it. It's also on UFO Report. And now you can see that the hunter is going thousands of miles per hour, which is clearly not the speed of ice crystals on a lens or something like that. And off to the left, you see Earth with the thermosphere where the plasmoids emerge from. And you can see this is an interaction. Is it mating, some sort of mating ritual? Is it hunting? 3 plasmoids sort of hanging out together. So something's going on. In the next still frame, you can see if you watch the full video from Dr. Joseph, you'll see that there's glowing, pulsating orbs, and they pass by the Space Shuttle Discovery, and a crew member comments on that. Again, nothing, let's say, normal. And I don't view it as paranormal at all. I view it as simply another life form that has not been documented or acknowledged, other than Dr. Joseph and his colleagues, for example, Dr. Rudy Shields, who's also been on the Hannibal TV. Moving along to the next still frame, So in that footage, you can see that plasmoids fly in formations. In this case, they're flying away from an electrical storm. And so that's more evidence that these things live by feeding off of electrical energy. Okay, this is what's known as the tether mission with the space shuttle. That's at the top. You see space shuttle mission STS-75, and that space tether is 12 miles long. So that's huge, and it's putting out electromagnetic waves. And we don't know. I don't know what kind of experiment it was. Maybe we can look it up. But point being, that these plasmoids, and there are a lot of them, not just the 3 or 6 covered by the circles, but a lot of them are actually attracted to the electricity given off by that 12-mile tether. Good to see you, Paul. Reckless. So um, Dr. Joseph documents about the sperm-shaped plasmoids affecting the shapes of others, perhaps it's some sort of procreation. Look at that donut-shaped plasmoid compared to that 12-mile-long space shuttle space tether. My estimate is that donut-shaped plasmoid is approximately half a mile wide. In other words, half a mile in diameter. That's huge. Also taken from the, we had that one already. Let's see where we can go next. Okay. So when you watch the video compiled by Dr. Joseph, you have voices from space shuttle missions and from space station missions, and they're talking about, you can see that arrow over to the right a little bit. They're talking about an object with that trajectory going diagonally downwards. Again, a plasmoid acknowledged by astronauts, and it's on the audio within that video. Moving to the next still frame. All right. In that video by Dr. Joseph, that compilation of official NASA footage, they're talking about it not being a solid metal structure. So they're basically saying, astronauts, it is not space junk at all. And when you hear the folks in the space shuttle mission, they're talking about all sorts of windows that it's going out in the space station. Now it's outside windows 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can hear that on the video. Post a comment if you couldn't find that video, and I'll post a link to it, but it is on the Hannibal TV. We're just doing frame by frame analysis. So again, Dr. Joseph is saying, hey, we have microscopic organisms in water, all sorts of interactions, and similar behavior in kilometers of size on the left, meters to kilometers of size. Those are plasmoids, but with very simple yet lifelike behavior. Dr. Joseph compares it to what's known as plankton. Those that watch SpongeBob, cool dude, plankton. He's the one-eyed green, minuscule microscopic guy that wants to take over the world or whatever. And then you see a small organism, microscopic, to the left of the plankton. That's on the left side of the screen. On the right side of the screen, you have that 12-mile-long space shuttle tether with plasmoids gathered around it. And notice the striking similarity between the two. And then again, comments by different astronauts on space stations. So folks, that is the UFO UAP update. I hope that you enjoyed it very much. And next week, we have an exclusive 1-hour video with Dr. Rowan Joseph. He is not local nowadays for obvious reasons, and he gives us all sorts of news and views about what he went through when trying to release this information. And again, in summary, how did he get his hands on this? He was studying what he thought to be either non-human objects on Mars, perhaps mushrooms, bacterial mushrooms or something like that, and also some sort of inanimate yet foreign objects on Mars. He did a Freedom of Information Act request, and he got back some reels, actually. Reels, like from those that remember, you go to the movie theater back in the day, and they had these big circular reels of tape, and they put it on, and it gets projected. And so he got these reels, and he's like, "What the heck?" He converted it to video, and that's what he found. And he made a lot of great scientific publications out of it. He and his colleagues, like Dr. Rudy Schild, came out with this in mid 2024. They published a journal paper and videos and several papers after that. So glad you folks like it. Let's see. Naps through look good, or they're not joking shit. Looks like plasma. That's for sure. Glad you folks like it. And we will be back next week with that amazing coverage. It's exclusive. You can only see it on the Hannibal TV and, of course, on UFO Report and our Wicked Alien Radio podcast. Okay, folks, so long. Hope you liked it.